HB family, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, your home of pure rugby league for now. Ladies and gentlemen, just quickly before I get into the Panthers and Warriors recap game review, I want you guys to know that I'm actually going to be not changing completely, but I'm going to be adding another sport to this channel here. I know it might be controversial, but that's just how I feel. I feel okay with it. I'll be adding Australian Footy League, so Australian football, to this channel here. It doesn't change, nothing changes, alright. This is going to be in the coming weeks or off season, so nothing changes regarding my content for rugby league at all, zero. But in saying that, I'm just going to be adding another sport as well. I like AFL as well, just as much as I like rugby league, and so I feel like for me as a content creator, I'm going to head this way. So that's a decision I've made. I'm not asking you to agree with it or disagree. I'm just letting you know that's where I'm going. And I hope you guys can still stick around regardless, because the content's still going to be the same. You know, you're just probably going to get the odd notification about a sport you probably want to know about, don't care about, already watch, whatever. But the point is, that's just the way I'm going. Yeah, that's it. All right, and saying that, DJ, hit the intro. All right, guys, here we go. Right. The Panthers, or the Pars versus the Wars, if you will. The Panthers versus the Warriors. In a game that I can only describe as very flat and dire if you are the New Zealand Warriors, right? Now, before the game started, we knew that Shaun Johnson was not going to be able to play. A lot of us some of us were hoping that Shaun Johnson would play last second, but it wasn't to be. The only way I can describe this game was very lethargic and poor. Now, granted, I get it, Shaun Johnson didn't play, so there were some key facets where we probably missed him in some key areas throughout the game. But if you see the post-conference talk with Andrew Webster, we talked to the reporters and stuff, and I completely agree with him. He said there were some other areas in the game where Shaun Johnson would have had no say at all. Now, am I saying that Shaun Johnson playing would have helped us win? I don't know. Most likely not. But obviously moments change, depending on who's there, who's not there, right? It was just overall, I think, how do I say this? Very, very lackluster. So just quickly, the possession was 57-43% at the end, right? Virtually speaking, the Panthers were at 82% completion rate, Warriors at 72. Some other key facets too. The Warriors missed. Oh, goodness. I don't like this one here, particularly from a defensive point, but the Warriors missed 55 tackles to Panthers 26. Look, that's just not good enough. Ineffective tackles were 18 to 16. Errors were 14. 6 penalties conceded. Now, guys, obviously we can look at the refereeing as well, some key moments, but don't think about that. Obviously you can be upset, but don't think about that, right? The Warriors were prepped for this game. We have the next man up mentality, and at the end we didn't meet the challenge. We didn't. I watched the game. I was left very upset. I thought, for instance, there was a little battle between Liotta as well as Edinson Blake. I'm not sure if you guys caught it in the first half, and obviously Liotta was trying to set the tone that they're going to be aggressive, that they're going to be up in their face, and I don't think Edinson Blake quite met the challenge. That's not to say he couldn't, but he just didn't that occasion. And, I suppose that was probably the first sort of tick on the box there for the Panthers, right? The second instance as well was in the halves. I mean, obviously, I get it. The Warriors had Dylan Walker and Te Maire Martin play. It is, again, another example of Warriors having untested halves play a game. It's something that occurs frequently, and it's just the way it goes. But I can't fault the two halves there. What do you do when you have two halves who haven't played together? Dylan Walker was supposed to come off the bench. I can't really blame him there. It's not his key position he plays. Tevanga, for example, coming off the bench there. It was, what do you do when you sort of versus a team that just is arguably the best team in NRL history? What do you do? The Penrith Panthers they could do no wrong. Right, that's probably the best way to say it. Right, 9 line breaks to 0 line breaks. Right, okay, 9 line breaks to 0. Okay, that's all you need to know there. 262 runs to 175. It was a very Panthers dominated game. Obviously 5 tries to 1 as well. You could probably argue and say that some of our, for example, some of our wingers, Montoya, for example, Pompey, for example. You could even say that even some of our forwards weren't up to scratch. But it's regardless of Sean Johnson, I just think for mine that it was quite disappointing for a team that's made the top 4. Like you expect a bit more from the Warriors. Like this is okay. So obviously the Warriors have now made the top 4. We versed the Panthers, and it wasn't a great result. But it's not about, how do I say this? It's time to get a bit realistic on how they played, right? It wasn't good enough, all right? And there's no point trying to sugarcoat it, like it wasn't good. Like if it was a tough, grueling game and we lost just, by 6 points or 12, I can accept that. But this was 13 plus. There was a part, patches in the game there where the Warriors sort of looked like they just rolled over. Tua Harris sort of touched on it. He said there were patches there where, we showed some good footy. We know we just need to execute it in the 20 minutes. And sure, I could agree to a degree, but I just feel like the Panthers they just proved that they're just a class above, right? They're just a class above. The Panthers are ready for this. We're not, right? We weren't. Now, the saving grace in our loss is we get another chance, ladies and gentlemen. So we actually get to have a game over Mount Smart, touch wood. And we verse either Sharks or we verse either Knights or Raiders over Mount Smart. So again, the show continues, and I hope the support does too. No, there's no point bagging the boys, being all silly and stuff. This was going to be an uphill battle, right? I'm sure many of us tipped the Warriors to win, like I did, but you just knew in the back of your mind, you just knew that the Panthers were probably going to, well, they weren't probably, they were just going to do what they did. They destroyed, they teared, they ripped, they clawed, they bit, they roared. They were too good in the end there. Warriors, I suppose the good thing as well is you learn from these, right? This was probably the bad game we needed to get out of the way, right? Touch wood. And so heading into next week, we can rectify that. We can come back. Yeah. So it's not all over yet. I would like to think that the Warriors learned some good lessons there. But again, hats off to the Panthers. Too good, but again, at the same time, hopefully the Warriors, can learn from this. The lads, there were a few positives. Chances of goal, Cookstad wasn't too bad. Dylan Watson, Selesniak, you saw little bits there from Wade Egan and Patches. Mitchell Barnett, I thought was good. Josh Curran coming off the bench, I didn't mind him. But yeah, it was just it's a very dour game. It wasn't great. But like I said, you strap the boots on next week and you start again. Hey, that's what you do. But that's it. I mean, Nathan Cleary is all class, right? He's all class. And despite the Panthers as well having some key outs, they still showed us how to get it done. From the Warriors, quickly before I get off, it was, look, I expected more. This was a hiding. It was a bashing. It was the Panthers exposing us. I'm hoping Webster can take this as a good lesson. He did. He said the Panthers gave us a good footy lesson. I'm hoping the boys will be fired up for next week, because if not, it's out in straight sets, right? And that is also a possibility as well. But I'm saying that, I'm done. Take it easy. See you guys next time. And just remember, hold the ball up the wires.